Bear down, Chicago Bears. Ian Rapaport is reporting something massive on Justin Fields today, and it looks like the potential exists for a game-changing shakeup at the top of the NFL draft. Now, if you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell to be notified of future content, and leave a comment down below. Very important right now. Let me know, are you team Caleb or are you team Justin? This channel so far, we're team Justin. We would really like to see him run it back one more time. We think that the Chicago Bears are a playoff contender this year and ready for a big, big run. And we're super excited to see it. To clarify here, Ian Rapoport from the NFL Network, he has something out here on Justin Fields. Justin Fields currently the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And what he says is that the Bears would need historic compensation to trade the number one overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. If someone is going to pry the number one overall selection away from the Chicago Bears, they're going to have to pay and pay a lot. Chicago, and this is important right here, Chicago would need a historic haul of draft picks and overall compensation to move off the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, sources say. I'm sorry, sources say. Folks, what that means is that the Chicago Bears are letting it known that the first pick in the draft is available, and it is available for the right price. Now, that is very, very important because these guys are usually correct and they are not unsourced when they come out here with these articles. In the words of one source, it would have to be crazy. That indicates the Bears, who received the pick in a mammoth trade last offseason with the Panthers, are more likely than not to make the pick and land their new franchise quarterback. So at this point, it can be reasonably argued that the Chicago Bears are ready to take Caleb Williams, or are they? Because what we're also seeing is, look, if you're looking for Caleb Williams and Caleb Williams is your guy and you really think that he is the talent of this draft, you don't move on. There's no trade that could be made that's going to change any of that. In the NFL, you've got to have a good quarterback or you're cooked, right? Well, I think that we already have a good quarterback that's been underserved by the people around him. Now, if that is the case, then and the Bears agree with that being the case, then what they're doing right now is they are playing 3D chess with a lot of different teams. The Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots are looking at the top quarterbacks in the NFL draft. And the question becomes, what would these teams be willing to do? USC star Caleb Williams is currently number one on Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 list on NFL, and many evaluating around the NFL would agree. If Chicago does decide to take the former Heisman Trophy winner, they would almost certainly trade Justin Fields to the highest bidder in what should be an active and fertile market. Fields, who hit his stride in the second half of the season and should command considerable interest, received plenty of support this week from teammates with hopes of him sticking in Chicago. Yet for the Bears, the rare opportunity to pick number one might trump how impressed they have been with Fields. Chicago loved Fields' improvement this year and views his makeup as rare, sources say. He brought this team together. He works incredibly hard, and he's a leader. Okay, so if we would stop right there, that's what you need to know. Number one, they view that he has a rare makeup, sources say, which means that somebody inside the Chicago Bears is talking about what they think, and they're letting you know that they believe that Justin Fields can do this job. He brought this team together. He works incredibly hard, and he's a leader. Now, the question would be, does Justin Fields give them a better shot at winning a Super Bowl than Caleb Williams? And that becomes something that we're going to deep dive into just a little bit towards the end of this and give you kind of a breakdown. Because right now, the important thing is this. If there is an opportunity for the Bears to move on, then the Bears are going to take, and this is the NFL draft order, the Chicago Bears have the number one overall pick, followed by the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots. I'm only focused on these three because when you get past this position, Marvin Harrison is off the table. The reason that Marvin Harrison is off the table is because we are well aware that he is coveted by the Arizona Cardinals to give Kyler Murray a resource that he currently lacks. So the Chicago Bears, in the event that they are moving on from the number one pick in the draft, would have to make a reasonable trade to the Washington Commanders or the New England Patriots in order to make the move that the fans of the Chicago Bears would like to see. And that move is Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, beyond that, then you get into what the rest of the haul would look like. So if you're giving up what many NFL evaluators is considering to be a generational talent in Caleb Williams, and you would want remarkable compensation. However, the only remarkable compensation that you can currently get it from is through a bidding war, in my opinion, with the Washington Commanders and the New England Patriots. And let's see what they want to do. Now, Gerard Mayo is now the coach over in New England. He might be willing to give up a little bit more than Bill Belichick would. And that would be an interesting sort of move right there. And it was clear that Washington is moving on from Sam Howell with him being benched at the end of last year. So they did not find their guy in Sam Howell. And Mac Jones obviously has not done what they wanted for the Patriots. So these two guys are desperately in need of a big splash. That big splash is going to come in the form of compensation. So the question now becomes, what is the compensation, and will the Bears at least consider it, or will they do it? Well, if you're looking for reasons when you're dealing with Justin Fields, there's something that you have to consider, and that is this right here. And guys, this is very, very important. Over the course of the game, in the first quarter, Justin Fields has a quarterback rating of 112. In the fourth quarter, 53.4. Now, it takes more than a first and second and third quarter quarterback to compete in the NFL. The rating in the fourth quarter, very, very low. Not only that, the percentage of completion, 75% basically in the first quarter, 62% in the second, and then it goes way down into the 50s in the third and fourth. Now, does that mean that Justin Fields declining over the course of the game? Well, if we go back and we look at Justin Fields at Ohio State, that was not the case. If we look at Justin Fields' release in his first season versus his third season, that was not the case. He got better uh, early on, and then he got worse as the Bears tried to build him into something that he clearly was not. So there's an argument to be made that Justin Fields probably needs a quarterback coach and an offensive coordinator willing to build around what he does very, very well. And clearly he gets this team off to a good start. Now, here's my estimation, and I do want to stress this. One of the biggest problems with the Chicago Bears has been their defense. In the event that defense, as we have seen, appears to be fixed. It appears to be fixed. Now, if that defense is fixed, then that means that this first quarter dominance and this second quarter dominance that we've really seen out of Justin Fields in this past season, that means that the Bears are probably going to get out to big leads that other teams are going to have to struggle to play against. And that puts the Bears in an enviable position if that's a testament of who Justin Fields is. Now, the question is, why is the third and fourth quarter so bad? Well, I would posit and I would argue that we went into a very conservative sort of play mode towards the end of games. And we were either having to play catch up after losing leads, which we were not prepared to do. And this team is not built around that. This team is built around, or was built around, being able to control the clock with a rushing game and not a passing game. Just something for you who, if you are a fan of Caleb Williams, or if you are a fan of moving on from Justin Fields, just something for you to consider. And I know that that's difficult for some people to put credence into, and for me, it's a little bit difficult as well, because I understand 53.4 quarterback rating in the fourth quarter. That's not very good. That is not very good. But I'm going to break something down here that I think you guys might want to look at just to kind of consider. I'm not going to change anybody's mind. If you don't like Justin Fields, you're never going to like him. But that tiny quarterback rating is based on his performance in the fourth quarter against Cleveland, against Minnesota, and against the Kansas City Chiefs. Otherwise, he's had remarkable ratings, and his full game ratings are grading out near 100 on almost every other game, at or near, in a reasonable, decent level, decent area. Now, those three being outliers, what did that mean for the team? Well, he threw a couple of interceptions in each one of those games. They were difficult games overall. They didn't bode well for him, and the team was struggling to find its way. So, if this is different, and if this has changed now, then could it be said that Justin Fields now represents a different paradigm for the Chicago Bears and an opportunity to win? Well, according to Ian Rapaport, the Chicago Bears are at least considering sticking with Justin Fields, trading that pick and moving into the Marvin Harrison Jr. era and sticking with Justin Fields. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you team Justin? Are you team Caleb? What do you think of Marvin Harrison Jr. as your selection? And then what would you do with that number 9 pick? Really interested to see what you'd have to say. This is until we see what they do, we can only speculate. And we're going to continue to speculate and we're going to continue to bear down because we are all right now the Chicago Bears.